Hey everybody, it's Carla with Carla's Clever Crafts. Hopping on here tonight. I am in bee mode, so I'm going to be doing another bee wreath tonight. This is the first of my own wreath attachments I've ever made, and I made this little bee. I was thinking about doing a live on how to make this, but I haven't fully decided yet. If anybody would be interested in that, leave me some comments and let me know, and if I have some interest in it, I'll probably definitely go ahead and do it. Give me a second to load in some comments. And this little cute thing could be used as a wreath attachment or a wall hanger. He's really adorable. And I don't have him covered because I'm going to attach him to a wreath, but I even have some black felt that I could cover the back of this to make it look clean and pretty. How big he is. He is 14 inches tall and his wingspan is 14 inches wide, so he's pretty good size. So many posts here. I can't, maybe this is it. Here's maybe I'm kind of slow tonight. No, that's not it either. My goodness. Let me just refresh the page again and see what happens. Okay, well while I wait for that to load, I'll go ahead and talk about the frame that I'm using. Is my standard, the one I use the most. It's a 14-inch wire frame from the Dollar Tree. I've wired it with pipe cleaners already. 18 total, because I'm going to be doing the crumple method again, so I like to have 18 ties for that. I have 6 on the inside 2 rings and then 12 on the outside 2 rings, and I do have a video if anybody would be interested in that, and how I prepare to do a wreath, including how I wire my frame and cut my mesh and my ribbons and dovetail and all of those things that are kind of repetitive. I made a separate video so I didn't have to keep repeating those things over and over. Bore everybody in my videos. Yeah, I'm going to lay our bee back here until we're ready. Okay. We'll need the glue gun. Okay, so I am going to do the crumple method. I think I might have cut my pieces the wrong size. That one seems really long. So, my mesh is a yellow, it's called eyelash mesh, and it has metallic gold lines running through it. This is the first one I'm using on the base. It's 10 inches wide, and I got this from bbcrafts.com, and I've cut them 16 to 17 inches long. And then to make a crumple, I'm just going to curl this first end and fold it over 4 times. And then put a clip on it to hold it in place. Turn that curl away from me. Do the same thing on the other end. Use your pinkies to hold down these edges so you get them tucked under. And once you have your 2 curls, just turn it face down and scrunch right up the middle, small sections at a time to create a ruffled effect. Pinch the 2 sides together and take off your clip. Okay, and I'm going to start on an inside pipe cleaner tonight. I'm going to go in the order that my pipe cleaners are laid out. So I'm going to start with yellow here, and then I'm just going to keep going all the way around in the order that they're placed. I'm going to put my finished edges to the outside and the inside. Okay, so just do our next pipe cleaner. I start on an inside one because it's easy to miss these pipe cleaners that are on the inside ring when you go around and start getting a lot of mesh on there. So that's why I start on the inside. It's one less that I might possibly miss. Okay, let me try and see if I can load this video again. Oh, it's working much faster now. Another curl, same way. Oh, and I almost messed up. Actually, I did mess up on that first one, so I'm going to put this clip on this crumple. And actually, I need to start with black and white on the inside. I forgot I was doing black and white on those inside ones. So, not going to be able to do my usual start on the inside one. I'm going to go ahead and just come to the outside. And then my next outside one, I'll put another yellow. Then I will come to the inside one, and I'm going to use this black and white. This is, I think it's called wide weave mesh, and I got this from craftoutlet.com, and it's black with white stripes. This is a thinner mesh than the yellow, so I did cut these longer. I cut these to 20 inches long, and it's a 10-inch wide mesh. So I will have 6 total pieces of the black and white cut to 20 inches and 12 pieces of the yellow cut to between 16 and 17 inches. Hi honey, thanks for watching again. I finally got the comments to load. Okay, and as I go around, I'm going to keep these pipe cleaners standing straight up, so when I go back to add my ribbon, I can find those. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 in a row on the outside again, so it'll be 2 yellow. And you're just repeating the same process to make your crumple, curling the first end, curling the second end, turning those face down, just scrunch up the middle, small pieces at a time, pinch your 2 sides together and take the clip off. Remember when you put it in to put your finished edges to the inside and outside, inside and outside. So need another yellow. The pattern will basically be 2 yellow and 2, and I did cut some of these too long, so I meant to cut them 16 to 17 inches, but it looks like I cut some of them to 20 inches. So we're just going to roll with it. I must have grabbed the wrong board when I cut some of them. If anybody's watching, make sure you tell me hi so that I know you're on here. Let Let me know what you guys have been doing today. It's always nice to have conversations so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. Okay, so now we're going to do another inside one, so that'll be the black and white. Sure we put that on the inside pipe cleaner. I'm going to be switching to ladybugs for a while after this one, even though I do have a lot more bumblebee stuff to design. I'm going to switch over and do the ladybugs. And probably lemons after ladybugs. And when you're adding these pieces of mesh to your base, make sure you squeeze them in and twist them as tight as you can. You want it to be really secure because it forms the base of your entire design. Need another yellow. Anybody that's watching or sees this on replay, make sure you leave me a comment and let me know if you would like to see a video on how to make this little bumblebee wreath attachment I'm using tonight. Made him for less than $3. And if you've ever priced wreath attachments or a 14-inch wall decor or anything like that, which he could do both purposes, they're a lot more than $3. Okay, so now we're to black and white. It's a pretty easy process too, pretty quick. He's indoor, outdoor friendly. Whoops, I almost missed one. I need to do 2 yellows now. A little bit past halfway. This piece is really long, guys. I'm not sure what I was doing when I was cutting the mesh, but you'll see it won't be, you won't even be able to tell that these were different lengths in the final design. sometimes you just roll with mistakes, because it would be better to just go ahead and put it on the wreath than to cut the pieces off and waste the extra. We are back to black and white. Yellow. Lord, look, that one's short, it looks like. Oh yeah, this was the end of the roll, that's why. So when I get to the end of my roll, as long as it's pretty sufficient length, even if it's an inch or so short, I will still use it, because it won't be noticeable that you were missing that little bit. Now, if all of your pieces were missing that little bit, then you would have a noticeable difference in your design. But with just one, it won't be. Yes, Linda, it does help with fraying. That's why I do mine that way. I know a lot of people do them the other way, but I am all about preventing the fraying, because I don't want somebody to get one of my wreaths and then have it ruined in a year. I want them to have it for a while. And it is cold here in West Virginia as well. Freezing. Our weather has been very inconsistent. It goes from mid to high 70s one day to down in the 40s, 30s. I think we were even down into the 20s a couple days ago. But at least we're not in one of those parts that are getting all of that snow, like in California. I think they got a bunch of snow and got snowed in, and then got a bunch of rain, and now they're flooding. I love the little pop of black throughout this. I think that looks really nice, but not overpowering. And our bee has a lot of yellow in him, so I thought the pops of black would also give me some contrast between the yellow mesh and the bee. So we'll see how that turns out. Okay, we've got 2 more yellows. Yeah, I like snow too, but I don't like the cold that comes with the snow. I've lived in West Virginia most of my life. I was in Florida for 3 years, and I have to confess that I absolutely love the weather there, except in the summertime. In the summertime, it is so hot that you could not even stand to leave your house. So, spend a lot of time indoors. And I love the snow when I don't have to go out in it. It is very beautiful, especially if you're in the mountains. Well, somehow I'm missing a piece of black mesh, so I'll have to cut another one real quick. Oh no, I'm not. I see it hanging on the edge over there. I've started trying to separate all my pieces of mesh. Georgia, all 68 years. Wow. I'm getting ready to turn the big 5-0 this year. I don't know what to think about that. Yeah, I like Georgia. I like the South. I love the weather. And like I said, if I could be in West Virginia for like the 3 hot summer months and then Florida the rest of the time, or anywhere down south really, that would be ideal. Do you make wreaths just for yourself, Linda, or do you sell them? Do you have a business? And this last piece is going to be tough to put in because it's on that inside ring, which is why I normally like to start with it, but because I messed up, I had to start on the outside. I'm just going to push this little guy down in here to keep my pattern consistent. Okay, this is what we have so far. We've got our base. Okay, and then for ribbons, hey Marley, thanks for watching. How's them kiddos doing? I've got a lot done today thanks to you. Okay, so I'm going to use the black and white polka dot 1.5 inch ribbon. I cut these 13 inches long, and this ribbon is from Craft Outlet. And then I'm going to use this yellow and black polka dot ribbon, and I'm using 6-inch pieces of it. And then I'm going to use this really cute bumblebee. I like the white background and the contrast that it gives us with the yellow. So I'm going to use that one. And then I'm going to also use this yellow and black striped to match our bees. And I'm going to cut all of these to 6 inches as well. I've got a couple wires I need to cut off. The bumblebee striped and yellow polka dot ribbons, I got those from Amazon. They sold like a kit or a set of ribbons. New kid on the block, you've sold 4 so far. Oh, that's awesome. Hi, Bryn. I have been making them and selling them. I actually went to law school. I raised my kids, and then I went to law school and decided that I did not want to practice law. That was too much stress and anxiety. I did not want to do that. So I started making wreaths and selling them. I guess it's been probably about 4 years now. But I've only recently started doing live videos and becoming more active on social media and stuff like that. So I've been selling them for a while, making them for a while, but just only, actually it was January, it was my New Year's resolution to expand my business and start doing videos and things like that. Okay, so we are going to have, how many? We need 9 of the 13-inch pieces of the bee. 9 of the black and white polka dot, and that's 13 inches as well. And then we're going to need 9 of the yellow and black stripe and 9 of the black and white polka dot. Okay, and I'm going to do my 6-inch pieces first. I always do that so I can keep my patterns consistent and try not to get confused. Okay. So I'm going to put the yellow and black stripe on top of the yellow, and then, well, actually it's going to rotate, so it's not going to really matter how I start, because I forgot we did 2, 1, 2, 1, so it'll rotate back and forth. So we'll just start with the yellow, and it doesn't really matter, the yellow stripe. Doesn't matter which one we put it in. Okay, and Squeeze it real tight and give it a good twist, and then fluff your tail out. And I try to come straight out the center of the piece of mesh that I'm laying it on. Okay, and then make sure you don't miss your inside pipe cleaners here. Whoops. We're going to alternate the pattern between the stripe and the polka dot, so I need to do that next. And when I do my 6-inch pieces, I have them dovetailed on one end, and then when we cut them in half, we have a flat edge. So I just scrunch along the flat edge, pinch it between my fingers like that, and then lay it into my next pipe cleaner. Twist it really tight, and then fluff it out. And we're going to do that all the way around with the 18. All 18, we'll get one of these, and then we'll go back around with the 12-inch or 13-inch pieces. And I did 13 for this wreath, but I have done this design also using 12-inch, so you could definitely do 12 inches as well. I've just been on this kick lately of wanting to switch things up, so trying different things. Sometimes I get bored and I gotta switch it up. I think that's every wreath maker, Linda. Is Craft Outlet not the best? I absolutely love that place. They probably get half of my yearly income, I would say. Where do you sell? Do you sell local or do you sell online? I actually, I actually went shopping last night. I wanted to buy some good quality greenery and florals. You sell local. I would suggest local is great, but you have a very limited audience. So I would suggest looking into Etsy. If you're like me and you're technologically challenged, find someone in your family, maybe a grandchild or something that could help, or a child or a cousin, just somebody that could help you with setting it up, because Etsy, you have a worldwide audience. You can either sell nationwide or you can sell worldwide. And I have actually sold numerous of my wreaths internationally on there. So my sales increased greatly when I started doing Etsy. So just something to think about, especially if you love to design as much as I do. I only have my house in a 10 by 20 storage building, so I can't store all these wreaths that I love to make if they don't sell. What I was going to say is I wanted to buy some good quality, pretty florals and greenery. I have bought from Hobby Lobby in the past, so I was going to order from them last night. And then I hate their sales schedule, to where their florals are only on sale this week and not that week, and their mesh is only on sale this week and not that week, and it's hard for me to keep up with that. Plus my bank account deposits don't necessarily understand or follow Hobby Lobby's sales schedule. So when I went to their website, their florals weren't on sale. So I had been seeing ads from a place called the Greenery Market. It's another small business owner that does kind of what we do, just on a little bit bigger scale. And they sell primarily florals and greenery. So I placed an order with them for the first time, I think it was last night. And I'm getting very excited to receive those. I want to see, I'm hoping the quality is everything that I hope it is. I got to be careful talking and not get confused on my pattern. Wouldn't be the first time I did that. Yeah, I'm really excited about doing the live videos. I've even started a YouTube channel and stuff, but it is a huge learning curve for me. I'll tell you, it's going to take me probably a good year to learn what I need to know. I even signed up for a business coaching class because it's just too much information to try to YouTube research and teach myself. I've got the wreath making down. I can make all kinds of crafts, but the business part of it and the social media and the technology, that part is, whew, it's overwhelming. If you have sold for locally, though, that's really good. It's hard to sell local. I thought about doing our local flea market here, but I'm so iffy about it because transporting wreaths and stuff, I'm afraid I'll damage them or fray them or mess them up. So I've just never ventured out and tried it. I haven't done craft shows either. When I did local, I did it mostly like on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, we're almost all the way around. It looks like I might have missed one or two. But I don't think I'm going to worry about it because it's pretty full. Oops, it's pretty full all the way around. I almost cut that off too soon, you guys. Well, there's the first problem. That should be a stripe. I may not have missed any either. I may have just cut up too many. That's another thing. Storing all those pieces of cut mesh that you mess up and mistakenly cut, or cut and then change your mind, and also all the little pieces of ribbon that I do that with. I have not found a good method for storing that stuff. Okay, so we will lay these over to the side, and now I'm going to come in with the black and white stripe and the bumblebee, and you will see why I do 6-inch pieces for those now. Hopefully it will make sense to you. And I'm going to put the bumblebee over top of the stripes to start with, and then we're just going to rotate them. Okay. Oh, I didn't even explain how I do that. So when I'm doing my 12 or 13-inch pieces, I lay them out flat in front of me. They're dovetailed on both ends, and I just scrunch right down the middle and then fold it back towards myself like a V and make sure my ends match up. And then I place that V in my pipe cleaner so that it V's around the 6-inch piece. That way all 3 pieces of the ribbon that I'm putting in there are visible. And it prevents, I like doing the 6-inch piece because then you don't have so many ribbon tails that are just covered up by layers and layers of other ribbon. And then it also makes your mesh still show through a little better and a little more visible. Now we'll still have layering because we're gonna, we've got 18 pipe cleaners going around here. So you'll still have overlapping and still have that look, but you'll have less that's completely hidden. I'm gonna do the same thing with the 1.5-inch black and white. And I'm gonna go into each pipe cleaner and just rotate between those 2 patterns. And then when I put this last ribbon in, I'm going to twist it 3 or 4 times and go ahead and snip this off because I'm not going to add anything else to this pipe cleaner. I'm done with it. And then I just push the end inside and squeeze it to secure my ribbon. And then I fluff out my tails. I just kind of arch them outward and curl the ends down. And I'm just repeating the same process all the way around, being the ribbon tails back towards myself. I'm going to actually, I think Friday and Saturday, I'm going to do a ladybug wreath and a matching garland. So I'll do the wreath on Friday, I think, and the garland on Saturday. And I'll be doing those on live if anybody's interested in seeing those. It's going to be a 9-foot garland, so it's going to be a huge project. I did a bumblebee one recently. I'll be posting it probably tomorrow, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I loved it, so I decided to do the ladybug also. And I love the white background with the bee, and then the black to give the contrast to all that yellow. I did a wreath the other day, and it's so super cute. It's got a beehive on it with a bear holding on to it. But I felt like I didn't have enough contrast in my ribbons and my mesh. I had too much yellow. Sheep is, oh, Linda, that's a great question. So far for me, I have been getting them from Amazon. There's Uline and several of them online, but for me, every time I price those, they make them seem like they're going to be cheap, but then when they add shipping and stuff, they're not. My best prices have been on Amazon, sometimes eBay, and I usually buy them 25 or 50 at a time. Because that helps me get a little bit better price. They're running me, I want to say I'm paying about almost $2 a box right now, which I absolutely hate. It's painful when you have to spend that much on boxes. I did get lucky though, so when you go to look, if you do check out Amazon, I did get lucky I think it was last month I ordered some boxes, and I got 25 for $36. And so I went ahead and bought 2 bunches of them, and I wish I had bought more, because when I went back to order more, they were, the price went up and they were like 50-some dollars. So if you look, you might catch a good deal like that on there, where you have a seller who's just trying to promote their store or get their sales up to get good feedback and stuff. They do low prices like that for all kinds of reasons. So you might find a deal like that. I hope I find another one soon, because I think I'm down to less than 10 boxes. And then I do also always check eBay. I don't buy much on eBay anymore, but sometimes I do. I will get lucky and find a seller that beats the best Amazon price I find. Most, I want to say for the last 6 months or more though, all of them have come from Amazon. Even though I price compare, Amazon had the cheaper price. That's a good question to ask in one of the wreath groups that I'm in. I might do that. See if somebody's got a better method than me. I know you can also get boxes at like Lowe's and Home Depot. I think the prices are comparable to what I'm paying on Amazon. halfway, I think, with these ribbons, so not too much longer. If anybody has any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll either try to answer you during the live, or if I miss it during the live, I will definitely answer you afterwards. The contrast of the white and the black better than the all yellow. One thing I hope is that inflation will go away soon, because ribbon and mesh and things like that have really gone up in price over the last year or so. So hopefully inflation will get resolved and those prices will come back down, if it doesn't end up being a permanent price increase. This is our last ribbon, and then I think I'm going to make a bow. I think I'm just going to make a little simple bow. I have a little sign here that I might add. I haven't decided on that yet. So I'm going to lay, this is what we have so far with our ribbons. I'm going to lay this back here out of our way with the bee. Oh, the bee tangled. And then I'm going to get my bow maker. This is my favorite tool for making bows. I cannot hold the ribbons by hand. I don't know why. I just really struggle with that. So I have this really pretty yellow ribbon with the black lace edge. This is a craft outlet, Linda. Very, very pretty ribbon. And I use it sparingly. I use it mainly just on my bows, to be honest with you. I love it. It's very pretty. Okay, so I'm going to start with it, and I'm going to do probably like a 8-inch tail, and twist my ribbon in the middle. And this is an easy bow maker that I'm using. They sell those on Amazon. I looked them up for a lady the other day, and I think they were like $26. And then I'm going to do a 5.5-inch loop, twist it in the middle again, do another, oops, loop, 5.5-inch on the other side, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and do one more on each side. I'm going to do those the same size, so I'm just going to check them there and make sure I'm getting them pretty close to the same. Same size over here as well. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this tail also at 8 inches. Okay, and then I think you do the black, solid black. I always start with dovetailing my first end. You don't have to do that. You can certainly dovetail afterwards. I'm going to have this tail going upward, I think. So, and this one down. So I'm going to start this tail coming out this way, the opposite of this one. I'm going to do it again at 8 inches. And then I'm going to, on my loops, I'm going to come in about 1 inch. So yeah, it would be about 4.5-inch loop. And same thing on the other side. So I think I'm only going to do one loop of this. So I'll cut this off again at 8 inches. I'm going to pull this one up, the opposite of this one. And then I'm going to do 2 loops of this 1.5-inch yellow and black polka dot. This came from Craft Outfit as well. So did the black. It's a 1.5-inch. The lace is a 2.5-inch. Okay, and I have a yellow and black coming this way and a solid, so I'm going to put this yellow and black also coming off this way. And this one, I think I'm going to make about a 7-inch tail, so it's a little bit shorter. Twist in the middle. And I'm going to make this loop the same as the black, so about 4.5 inches. So when you use this much ribbon, it's just, for me, I see crafters do it all the time, holding it in their hand, and I just can't do it. I've tried. I do good to hold 3 ribbons at a time. Okay. almost did the wrong measurement. So again, I'm doing the yellow and black the same as the black underneath, so 4.5 inches. I'm going to cut this one off at 7 like I did the first one. And that's the nice thing about the Easy Bow Maker. If you don't have one of those, is it has the measurements right on here for you, 8 inches to this side and 8 inches to this side. So it's very helpful. Okay, and then I have this honeycomb ribbon. Now this actually was part of Sam's Club spring collection. They probably still have some of that. It's been about a week since I've been on their website, but when I was on there, they still had it at that point. I'm going to put this here to hold that ribbon, make sure it doesn't go anywhere while I dovetail this. Okay, and since I did this one this way, I'm going to come this way with the honeycomb. I'm going to do 7 inches, just like I did the yellow polka dot over there for the tail. Twist in the middle. And then I'm going to come in about 1 inch on the loop again, so now I'm probably at about 3.5 inches on that loop. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Somehow my tail got turned with my pretty side underneath there. Now when I put this on the wreath, we may trim these tails, but I prefer to leave them a little bit longer until I get them on there and see. Because I can always cut off some, but I can't add some. The box and then ribbon from Sam's Club. Yes, that is. I think Sam's Club deals are probably the best deals. I stocked up. I buy a lot of their solid collar ribbons because it is. You just can't beat 50 yards for. I think it was like $8, maybe a little bit less per roll. So, and they have a big Christmas collection too. They do a spring and Christmas that I know of. Okay, I'm going to reach over here and grab a pipe cleaner. Unfortunately, all I have is fluorescent yellow. It's another thing I need to order: boxes, pipe cleaners, and sunflowers. Okay, so I'm just going to put my pipe cleaner right down the middle of these two stems. And then I'm going to use my thumbs to hold the center of both sides of all the ribbon and slide my fingers on each hand underneath. So I'm using 4 fingers underneath on each side and my thumbs. And I'm just going to slide it out slowly, making sure that I have a good grip on it. Keep a hold of that. And wrap your pipe cleaner. Give it a really tight twist, and then I like to pull my loops forward and twist down so that I'm twisting the pipe cleaner down toward the ribbon to tighten it as much as possible. Okay, so now we're done with that. Okay, so then the next thing I do when I'm making my bows is I just come back and dovetail all those ends that I hadn't already done. And since I'm dovetailing these, I guess I could go ahead and just explain that I'm just folding the ribbon in half long ways and lining up the edge and cutting from the folded side up toward the wired or the open side. And that just gives us a nice little finished V. And I don't know why, but that's called dovetailing. Alright, that looks super cute. Let's get our wreath and put it on there and see what it looks like. Clean up this mess first so I don't get all this in my wreath. Okay, and I always have to stand up. I sit down to do this, but I had to stand up to do my bow. Okay, so I think I'm going to put the bow right in this corner. We're going to put the bow there. Oh. And then we'll decide where we're putting the bee. So to attach my bow, I'm just pushing the two ends of the pipe cleaner that I tied the bow with down to the wire frame underneath. And I make sure that when I'm wrapping it, I'm going around at least 2 of the wire rings. Okay, so here is one and here is one. And see, I'm only around this one, so I'm going to push this one down here. That way I'm tying around both of these 2 middle rings. And I'm just going to twist it tightly. Not too tight though, because you don't want to sink your bow down into your mesh. Just give it a tight, secure hold. And then I'm just going to cut off this extra piece. And then I push these wired ends to the inside of the frame so somebody doesn't get scratched or a door or anything like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to decide how I want my loops to lay here. Fluff them up and spread them out. I always start from the bottom and work my way up when I'm fluffing. I do these at like a X crisscross pattern. Same thing with the yellow and black polka dot and the solid black. And then I just take my tails and kind of arch them out, kind of like I did the ones around the base. So just kind of do the same thing with these. And then once I get everything else added, if I think any of these are too long, which it looks like some of them might be, we'll trim those off, and I just spread them out. Okay, so this is what our bow looks like. It's not overly large, just really cute, pretty simple. Okay, and then I have to decide, am I going to just do the bee, or am I going to put the bee up some and use this cute little sign? I think I'm going to angle the bee a little bit and go ahead and attach the sign. This sign came from Craft Outlet. It just has a striped pattern border, some honeycomb design in the background. It says welcome and has a little bee. It's probably about 4 inches, about 7 inches, something like that. Craft Outlet sells the 3-pack of these, and they're metal. I think it was $5 for 3 of them. So that's not a bad deal. I'm just going to cut this rope because it comes with a rope hanger on it, so I'm going to cut that off. Okay, and then I'm going to use my metal hole punch. This came from Amazon. I like the all metal one. I bought the one that had plastic pieces and it broke. I think I'm not a gentle crafter, so that didn't work for me. I'm just going to put a hole at the top and another one down here at the bottom. And this metal hole punch works great on metal signs, on MDF signs, all kinds of stuff I use that for. So I'm going to start heating up my glue because that's how I'm going to attach my bee. And then while it heats up, we'll wire the sign. And then we're just about done. So I have floral wire is what I use to attach my signs from the Dollar Tree. You get 100 feet for $1.25 and it's 26 gauge. And I cut my pieces extra long to make it easier for me to work down through all the mesh and the ribbons that we put on the frame because I like to attach the sign to the frame underneath. And a smaller sign like this, I just attach it in 2 places. Bigger signs, sometimes I'll do 4. So to wire my sign, I just feed it down through one of the holes I made. And the other good thing about that hole punch is the holes are really small, so they're not really even noticeable. I come back here and line the ends of the wire up. Then I'm going to crisscross this wire in the back. And I'm going to twist it to make a knot, but I want to make the knot over top of the hole that I made. I want my wires coming out of the back of the sign and not off of the edge or the side here. That just makes them more stable when you attach them. And I'm going to twist it probably 5 or 6 times. Okay. And then come to the bottom and do the exact same thing in that hole. I about poked my eye out. That's another thing about me. I'm very accident prone when I craft. I've got scars to prove it. Okay, so now our sign is ready. Stocked up on Christmas, yeah, me too. Whenever, actually after clearance, clearance after Christmas is when I really stocked up. Sam's had theirs half off, so that was wonderful. I got a bunch then, and then I also got some at Walmart. Walmart had some pretty good ribbons this year, and I got those. They were, I think, 75% off when I bought them. So yeah, I'm stocked and ready to go on Christmas too. Touch him right off to the side. And then I'm going to put the sign kind of right here where we have all this mesh. The glue is almost hot, but I'm going to go ahead and wire the sign on. And to do that, I have to work my way with these wires all the way down through this mesh to find the frame. See, I want that to sit up higher, so maybe I'm going to wire the bottom first. Try to feed down through the mesh here. I do the same thing when I'm wiring my sign. I wrap it around 2 of the rings on the base, twist the wire around itself several times to make sure it's good and secure, and then I cut off the extra and push the wires up inside so that somebody doesn't get injured. Most likely would be me. I'm going to cut off the extra. Just wrap it around one of the rings a couple times and then push the ends up to the inside. Now, let's turn this around and see where I want to attach this. Because if I attach this top part down here, it's going to pull my sign down where I don't want it. I want it to sit up here kind of under my ribbon tails on my bow. So I'm going to probably bring it over here and attach to the side. I'm going to go underneath all of this mesh. This is another reason I like to cut my wires really long, because then if you need to wire to a different part of the frame, you have the length there already that you need. Okay, and I'm around 2 of the rings, so I'm just going to twist. And I'm not going to pull that real tight because I don't want it to shift my sign this way. Okay, now our glue is ready. So, let me position this little guy the way I wanted him. This material is really sticking to this mesh on the bee. So I think I want him kind of like that. I pulled that mesh out. Now I think I should have left it in there. So I'm just going to glue right on his body here to attach him to the mesh and the ribbon tails here, because I want to make sure that he has a good hold. I'm not going to put glue on his head though, because I want his head to kind of stay up in the air, kind of like he's flying off of the wreath. So I'm going to try not to have to attach the head down and see how that goes. This is a Ryobi glue gun. My husband, love him for this, got me this. I did not even know there was such thing as a tool grade hot glue gun, but this thing is a lifesaver, and the hold that it creates is amazing. But you do have to be very careful because it gets scalding hot. So I'm just going to press down on this and hold. And this is, I've stuffed the bee to give it like a 3D dimension, so the glue is not going to come through that material and burn me. I'm safe there. I might have to adjust the sign a little, I'm not sure yet. The wings are so huge. It's a 14-inch wingspan, and then he's 14 inches tall from his antenna to the bottom. We can go ahead and turn this off. So I think he's holding good enough for me to show you guys. This is our finished wreath. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like it, or if you would add anything or do anything different, let me know. And then I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and making this fun and entertaining. Linda, thank you for the wonderful conversation. It's so nice to meet you. And you guys all have a wonderful night, and I'll probably be back on tomorrow to do a bicycle wreath. I'm going to do a large one on an evergreen base. I haven't done one of those in a while. And then, like I said earlier, on Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be doing the ladybug, bumblebee, wreath, and matching garland set. So I'll do the wreath on Friday and the garland on Saturday. Hi Angela, thank you so much. Yes, when I was shopping, I think I might have overkilled on buying bee products, so I have a lot of bee stuff. But this will be my last one for a little while. I'm going to switch to ladybugs and the bicycle, and I'll come back to bees probably in a week or two. I think I just love them, so I get carried away. Okay, you guys have a good night, and thanks again for hanging out with me.